Hello. I hope everybody's doing well. I apologize for the no notice on time. I just didn't know what time I was going to be able to hop on. And when I asked everybody when they would be able to hop in the Facebook group to watch the workshop, most people said that they would just catch the replay anyway. So if you have questions and you are here live, feel free to put them in the comments. Um, you know how to get a hold of me right here in Facebook, email, wherever you feel so inclined to ask your question, please do so. So you want to know how to get more savings in your accounts, whether it's beefing up your emergency fund, saving for something special like a trip or maybe a fun toy, or a down payment, or maybe savings to you means planning for something long term like retirement. The best way to save is to make it easy and to have some new habits and rules so that things don't feel so hard and that you're having confidence that you're making smart decisions. So before we jump right in, I just want to get sidetracked for a little bit and talk about Harry Potter. If you love Harry Potter as much as I do, then we'll probably be friends for life. And I just wanted to get sidetracked a little bit and tell a little story about Harry Potter. So I started reading this series back in 2009 when I was pregnant with my first baby. And I have such a vivid memory of that whole first month. And so my water broke with with Wesley, my first baby. I go to the hospital. They tell me that I'm in labor and to just go home and just wait. Things will start happening soon. So I just remember it was a beautiful day in April, and anyone from Northern Ontario knows that when I say a beautiful day in April, in Northern Ontario, if it's 5 degrees in November, we're all getting our parkas on. But if it's 5 degrees in April, we're like starting to take our clothes off. So I say it was a beautiful day in April, but that might mean freezing cold to my standards right now. But anyways, it was sunny. Our driveway was black pavement, so it was sunny and the snow on the pavement was starting to melt. And for us Canadians, that's like the best sign in the spring when everything starts melting and you start coming out of hibernation. So the snow on my driveway was melting. I dragged out a lawn chair. So just imagine this big pregnant lady who's technically in labor, but I just felt completely normal. This big pregnant lady gets out this lawn chair in April. There's snow. I set it up on my driveway. I sit there on my lawn chair, soaking up the sun. I felt like I could feel the pavement radiating the heat. And I pull out Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, and I just sit there and read and just wait for my baby to arrive. And he ended up being born that next afternoon, and his name was supposed to be Carter. And when we finally met him, it was like Carter just didn't suit him. So he was nameless for days. And then all of a sudden, his name, Wesley, just came to me and it just felt right. And it wasn't a name that was on our list, it wasn't a name we talked about. It just felt comfortable and familiar. And I know nobody named Wesley, so I'm not quite sure where it came from. So now they've let me leave the hospital. So that's number one, like you're terrified. You've never done this before. And anyone with a newborn knows when you first get home, you spend a lot of time on your couch, nursing, feeding, burping, bouncing. And I come from a big family. And everybody in my family made having kids look so easy. And it isn't easy. So my number one goal when we got home from the hospital was to just keep him sleeping and not wake him up. So I spent a lot of time on the couch in baby jail, just trying to keep him sleeping and happy. And as I'm doing this, I'm sitting on the couch, I grab my Harry Potter book and I start reading it, and all of a sudden I see the name Weasley. Oh, that's where I got Wesley from. Wesley is Weasley without the A. So pretty much since that day, I've been waiting for Wesley's 11th birthday for the owl to come and give him his acceptance letter to Hogwarts. Anyways, okay, enough sidetrack. Let's get started. I've broken this saving workshop into a few parts. So you know you're in the right place if you wish you were saving more, if you wish saving money was something that came naturally to you, you want financial freedom but you don't know where to start, or you know you have to save, but there's all these other responsibilities you have, like debt payments, student loan payments, normal adult responsibilities, kids, back to school clothes, all those things. So for the first part, I want you to try something. I want you to think about your goal. I know you have one. Whether you know how much the trip is going to cost you, or you know how much you want to have for a down payment, or you have an idea in mind in terms of your emergency fund balance. Okay, so I want you to think about that number. Got it? Okay, now I want you to cut that number in half. Yes, you heard me right. Whatever your goal is, think of that number. And what is 50% of that? Okay, bear with me. I want you to think about it this way now. If you had a goal to lose 10 pounds and then you only ended up losing 8, you feel like you've lost by 2 and that you failed and that it was all for nothing. But what if your goal was to lose 5 pounds and you lost that same 8 pounds? You've now won by 3, right? So what this does, cutting your goal in half, it breaks your big goal into small baby step, bite-sized pieces. So I do want you to reach that big goal. The problem is that people make their goals when their motivation is at its highest. And motivation, unfortunately, is temporary, and willpower is finite and fades. So by lowering the bar and getting real with what you're able to accomplish, it just allows you to gain momentum and to give yourself the confidence to keep moving and to keep on that same track. Okay, the next part is I just want to talk about something I call comparitis. Okay, so we're constantly bombarded by everybody's highlight reel, whether it's in your email, on your TV, in your neighborhood, and obviously, especially on social media. So if you think back to 10, 15 years ago, you could only actually compare yourselves to people in magazines, to people on TV, people in your community. And now, every minute of every day, you are exposed to other people's definition of perfect. And these aren't just family and friends. They're people we haven't spoke to in decades. They are complete strangers. they might be people who are known for being excellent in something that maybe you aren't quite good at. So maybe this sounds familiar, like the Mrs. I'm so organized, my kids are always clean and happy and well behaved, and I have no stains on my outfits, and my hair is washed, and my house is spotless and smells like citrus. Okay? Or what about Mr. How I saved $50,000 on a $20,000 income? Like, and I did it all while drinking my lattes and going to Disney. Okay? Does that sound familiar? Another one that I'm just thinking of now, because this is kind of the stage of life I'm in, is, oh, I'm going to meal prep all day and all my meals are going to be healthy and my kids eat every last bite of them and love them. And my kitchen has white cabinets and it's always so clean. And I did it all for $50 and we're going to eat for a month and my freezer's full and I did it all in one afternoon. Okay? These people are not your people and they are creating unrealistic standards and your eyeballs do not need to be drawn to them. Unless, I'm going to put a big disclosure here, unless you are following this person to cheer them on, to motivate you, and to support them, then continue absolutely by all means. If that mom doing the meal prep and her kitchen is clean and her kids eat all the meals that she's doing inspires you and makes you feel good about yourself and you want to share all her stuff and you feel like you go girl, I'm so happy to support you, I'll double tap, I'll like, whatever, then that's one thing. But if you're following her and every time you see her post, you feel kind of down on yourself and you give yourself a hard time, no more, hit unfollow. I want you to filter your eyeballs, no more of that. Okay, so what does this have to do with saving? Okay, let me come back. Since I've been in the finance industry, one major thing that I've noticed is that finances are 20% numbers, 80% behavior. So for us to be set up for success, we have to get ourselves in check. We have to be confident that we'll meet our goals. We have to be happy. We have to be positive that we're moving in the right direction. Give ourselves some grace when we have sidetracks and just be a little bit more kind to ourselves. Don't be hurtful. Don't follow these people just to motivate yourself in a bad way by negative. Unfortunately, willpower is finite, so it does run out. And to get the most progress, we need to make things feel good, let things go that don't matter, and that make us feel blah. So another place that is full of temptation in terms of buying and poison is your inbox. So there's this website, it's called unroll.me. You can go in there. So you go to unroll.me and you put in your email address and it will pull up all the subscriptions that you're signed up for. Newsletters, stores, apps, restaurants, businesses. It'll pull up all the things that you're subscriber to, and you can unsubscribe to as many or as little things as you want. So what I would say is go try it out. I just did mine last night, and my number, I was subscribed to 232 newsletters, subscriptions, magazine things, stores, business owners, and I subscribed to so many of them. So I encourage you to do the same. Be really picky. And you know what? You can always resubscribe. If you miss getting that email, resubscribe. So just kind of turning up the filter on what you absorb in terms of content and marketing. Um, Another part to make the mindset of saving a little different and more positive is you need to stop sticking to your made up rules. I always call this the laundry chair. So, do you have a laundry chair? Don't lie. I know you probably have one. They're like poisonous cupcakes to me. I hate seeing them. I feel like the rule in my house is no laundry chair. It's this made up stupid rule, and it just puts more pressure on me and makes laundry way less. Not that laundry can be fun, but it's just like I feel like laundry is laundry machine, dryer, laundry chair. Or sometimes laundry chair, washing machine, dryer, laundry chair. Like it's part of the appliances in your system of laundry. But I have this rule where I don't want a laundry chair. I want things to be systematized and go in where they're supposed to go, and no delay area. They come out of the dryer and they go where they go. And the reason I call these like poisonous cupcakes is because I hate to see one, but if I see one, I can't help but use it. So if there is I hate having a laundry chair in my bedroom, but if there is one, I will use it. So it's like this stupid rule. So, am I scaring everyone away with my ridiculousness? Don't leave. I'm not a complete weirdo. Anyways, I have a point to all this. Everyone has these laundry chairs or crutches or secret rules that they are creating for themselves. And when they come from money, they can be really shameful and dumb, and they have no point to them. Like, oh, I'm not going to get that latte. That's a waste of money. Yeah, it might be a waste of money if you were otherwise going to save that money for one of your big goals. Or if you don't like lattes, then yeah, it's a waste of money. But if you don't save the money that you are going to use and you enjoy lattes, go ahead and have one. It's not a waste. Because if you don't take the money you were going to spend on that thing and save it, you'll just find somewhere else to save it. Right? So like, for example, my laundry chair, I don't have one in my bedroom. My husband doesn't have this stupid laundry chair rule as part of his mindset. So he has now adapted to what I lovingly call a trough. So he has this little space between the wall and his side of the bed. And that's where all the things that otherwise would have gone on the laundry chair now go. So it's full of socks and clothes, and sometimes some kids' toys sneak in there. But if you aren't going to get the latte because you think you should be saving, then when you want it, get on that app or make a trip to the bank and save the money. But if you aren't going to save the money, get the latte. So you shouldn't be associating guilt with savings. Make it fun. I want there to be a feeling of joy when you save $1, just like there should be a sense of joy when you spend $1. So maybe create a tracker, or another idea is to cut up a piece of, like, get a picture of your dream home or your dream holiday and cut it up into pieces, and every time you make a deposit into that fund, you get to put up a piece of that picture. Or maybe every time you deposit money into your savings, you get to get your latte. So instead of $50 that you were going to save, you'll save $46, and you'll have a latte as your reward for doing it. So the idea is to put these positive associations with the saving. So the 3 parts that we went over today is to, when you create the goal, to cut it in half, do baby steps. Every time you achieve that baby step, celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Next thing that you should do is to filter. So whether it's unfollowing, unsubscribing, maybe doing a social media ban for the weekend, just kind of be mindful of all those marketing messages that you're hearing and only listen and absorb content that makes you feel good. The other thing is, don't suck the life out of it. It's okay. Saving doesn't have to be depriving. It doesn't have to be heavy. You can make it fun. So that's it. 3 quick tips so that saving is a little bit easier and can be a part of your life. That's fun. Next week, if you found this helpful, we're going to continue with next week. So next week we're actually going to talk numbers, and we're going to go over how to create a budget and stick to it. So this is where we'll talk, the actual black and white numbers, setting it all up, getting clear on boundaries, priorities, and how to organize it all. And I think it'll be a really good complement to this workshop. So if you found this helpful, feel free to share it, invite your friends to the group. This is where all the workshops will be happening. If you're in the email, don't have Facebook, I will be sending these out every Friday, just so that you can rewatch. And other than that, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining. Let me know if you have questions. I'm here to help.